Hi Tarot Tribe and Honey Bears, it's Ethany and I am here to share with you some strategies, in fact 6 strategies that you can employ in your tarot practice about getting over being wrong when giving a reading to other people. This is such a stopper for so many people that I speak to as students and as other people in our community. And many of the feedback that I get is, why don't you read for other people? And often people say something along the lines of, I'm really scared of getting it wrong. And fear stops us from doing a whole bunch of stuff, let alone anything to do with the tarot. But I wanted to address some things from my perspective around getting over being wrong when giving a tarot reading. So some of it may be new to you, some of it may seem like common sense, some of it you may have experienced yourself, but as always, this is just me sharing with you, and you can take what resonates with you and incorporate it into your personal practice, and you can leave the rest. So my first one is, be okay with the fact that it is going to happen. Acknowledge that no one is right, no matter what, no matter what our pride or our ego wants us to believe. No one is always correct. We are only human. Every profession, every job we have, every experience, whether it's like the job of being a parent or a dentist or a designer, whatever our job is, we're never 100% correct. We all make mistakes. And it is a part of life. It is a part of what makes us grow. It shows us areas in which we can find areas where we can work with other people. It is just one of those things. So instead of worrying about if it's going to happen, just be okay with the fact that it is going to happen. I remember when I said to my dad, who my father was a motorbike racer, pretty good one, a professional motorcycle racer. And I said to him, I really wanted to get my motorcycle license. And I am not exactly the most accident-free person. I tend to be a little bit more accident-prone than not. And my dad said, even, with the percentage of accidents, it's certainly not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when. And he's broken nearly every bone in his body. And I was just like, oh, that's made me rethink my strategy of, my desire, because that puts, that was like, it's probably going to happen to me pretty quick. Same thing with being wrong in a reading. So think of it as a good thing. See it as you leveling up. The more you're okay with the fact that you're going to make a mistake, the less it's going to throw you off course or damage your ability to, pick yourself back up again. I'm feeling super eloquent today. I've had too much coffee, I think. So the more that you are okay with it, the less it's going to derail you in your practice. I mean, I've had people cross their arms at me at readings. I think I've spoken about this in the dealing with difficult clients video. Cross their arms and just be like, no, none of that makes sense. And you don't know whether that's them lying or it just not resonating with them or you being wrong. And that was, when you're seeing that face to face, it's even harder when you get an email. And a wonderful quote from the amazing J.K. Rowling, the best of us must sometimes eat our words. So remember, being wrong is okay. The second one is super important, and I say this in a lot of my business coaching. I've said it in business training before as well, is know that you are not your mistakes. So my favorite artist of all time, India Ari, who I adore more than words can say, has this beautiful song called I Am Light. And the whole song is an incredible mantra. And if you don't know it, I put the link below. It is just an exquisite song. And one of the lines is, I am not the mistakes that I have made. And it is so true. You need to separate yourself out from the instance. You need to separate, if you're going through a hard time in your business, that is not a reflection of your worth. Your mistake is not connected to your worth. It is an experience that happened. You can acknowledge it. You can have a moment, feel shitty, feel, you feel guilty, feel the gamut of human emotions if you need to get over it. But you are not your mistakes. They are an experience, and don't allow that experience to kind of eat away at you from the inside. Acknowledge it, acknowledge that it happened and that you had a part in it, but that you can also move on because your soul is light. I am light. Love that song. My third strategy for getting over being wrong in a tarot reading is hone your craft every day or week or month. I know a lot of us get super busy. I have a child, I have a business, I'm a writer as well, so I've got a lot on, and I know a lot of us do. We live in a world that is constantly bombarding us with information and biting for our attention. So we need to schedule time to work on what we love, right? We need to take time to work on our practice, take time to build your confidence. You may not be able to read a book every week or even read a few pages every week, but see what you can do about, read some great blogs or watch some really good YouTube videos, or do some free readings for people to kind of just keep those skills, work on some of your psychic development if you use that in your readings. So carve some time out to hone your craft, because that helps you become even more confident. If you're still staying on top of your game, the less likely you're going to feel, worried. It's just a confidence building thing, and it's a good practice anyway, but you can certainly feel more confident if you have been doing constant professional development and being in from the HR world in a corporate environment. You constantly continue your professional development, even in the workplace. So treat it as such. So my fourth offering to you today is reflect on your mistakes from a place of opportunity. So embrace and reflect on your mistakes in all areas of your life. The more you can do this and take away the shame that can develop, and the more ease you're going to have about it. So you can journal, talk about it, see what opportunities there are in your mistakes and those missteps to grow. Even if it's just in accepting criticism. So I was talking before about how I had that woman at the fair sit across me and say, like, just cross her arms and be like, none of that made sense. For me, I could, take that on board, and there's a lot there that I can learn from, but I can also see it as a way of which to communicate well, a way in which to accept criticism, or a way to learn that not everyone is going to see something the same way I do. So taking a little humility and like, okay, well, maybe I got it wrong. And to just be okay with that. So that's a huge opportunity to learn, as long as I'm able to see it that way and not as someone attacking me, even though it is hard at the time, even if it's later on. Just bring some awareness around it. I always say having a professional mentor or some people you mastermind with, if you're at a level where this is your business and this is something you want to do, is so important. I have more than one mentor. I just got off the phone this week with one of them. I have a couple of mastermind people that I trust very, 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 very dearly, that I bounce ideas off of. I have people that I can go to and trust and know that I can talk to them about things. So that's important. If you have someone that you can just say, look, I fucked up, I made this mistake, can we unpack this, or can I just talk to you about it? And it also releases the energy, right? So that scene in Harry Potter where Harry doesn't want to talk about what happened with Cedric and with he who shall not be named coming back. spoiler alert, if you're like the one of like 3 people who've never read the books or seen the movies. And he feels as if that is being exercised out of him as he talks to Dumbledore. It's the same thing. Allow that energy. The more we bottle it up, the more it's going to affect us. So a really powerful thing that goes around on the internet every now and then, because those viral things tend to do the loop, is the creator of Spanx talks about how her father used to ask her every day, what did you fail at today? And that's extremely powerful. Failing and making mistakes means you're trying, you're doing the work, and that's incredibly powerful. So if we can take the taboo away from failure and about being wrong and empower people to take risks, the better I think we'll all be. So the 5th one is to empower your clients to be involved. So this is something I like to facilitate with my clients. Life does not need to be something that just happens to you. You don't have to view life as a shitstorm you walk through until you die, although some people do and will never stop. But that's not your place. You don't have to, not my circus, not my monkey. So when someone comes for a tarot reading, they're probably feeling a little lost, or they're feeling that power's been taken away, and they're certainly looking for something. People don't come, few people come for just entertainment. Most people are coming for a reason. And the best gift, as far as I know, for me, that I believe that you can give them is to help give them their power back. Empower your clients to make choices that are most aligned to the best outcome. Ask them questions while you're in the session with them so that they have the time and space to truly contemplate them. So that busy world I was talking about before that's constantly bombarding us with information and wants us to buy and consume. The tarot, if you create that space for people, can be that breath of like silence, and you're giving people permission to just sort of sit with things that maybe they haven't for a while. Again, this does depend on your reading style, but I like doing this. I like giving people the opportunity to reflect. So let them know the things are not defined, depending on, of course, whether you believe in fate or not, and I want to talk about that in another video some other time, and that they can also change the course of their life if they want to. Yes, you can still answer their questions about what the most likely outcome is for certain things. I don't believe that's a complete scapegoat for that kind of thing. That's if you do give outcome-oriented readings. But you can also give them options to get them into the game of their own lives. So let's give you an example, just in case that my coffee-laced chatter does not make any sense at all. Okay, so someone's gone for a job interview. They come in to see whether they got the job or not. So you can ask them, well, did you like the person you interviewed with? Does that company feel like it's right for you? Have you done any research on them? Would you be happy? Is the job what they advertised? Do you want to keep looking? Are you taking this role from a place of fear and not of a place of I really want this? And here's option A, here's option B, and here's option C. If you do get the job, this is what the most likely outcome would be. If you don't get the job, this is the most likely outcome. And here's another option for you too. Maybe somewhere else you can look, okay? So I'm very much about giving people choices, because choice is where we get our power from. My goodness, this has probably been a lot longer video than I thought it was going to be. And my sixth piece of advice to you is feel the fear and do it anyway. Don't let your fear of being wrong stop you from moving forward in your journey. I've heard this on, I don't want to be wrong about the meaning of the tarot, kafui. If that's what the tarot is saying to you in that specific reading, then go with it. I've always said trust your intuition above everything else. I've had people say, what if I'm wrong? Okay, what if you're wrong? I had another reading. I was doing at a breast cancer volunteer event, and I went in and I did free readings, and there were 2 girls, and I usually don't like reading for people together because I find I get their energies mixed up. And I was reading for this girl, and I was talking about dance. I saw ballet. I saw a spotlight and I was talking to her about an academy, and she's like, that's not me, that's her. And it was completely her friend that I tapped into, who was applying for a dance school. So, people, I was wrong. I wasn't tuning into that person. I was tuning into that person. So, be okay with it being wrong. So I really think this applies to anything. I'm a risk taker. I'd rather know than not know. I would rather live with making a mistake than a regret, So if you really have got that fear around it, talk to a mentor, contact me if you want. Do a reading around why you're afraid. Do some shadow work. Screw up on purpose. Talk to other readers about how they navigate this on their own journey. A real fun thing you can do is try other ways of reading. I remember going to a party and there were people sitting, we were kind of sitting in a circle, and all of our feet were facing the inside. And I was looking at everybody's shoes and I was like, I don't know, I could have been a bit drunk. But I said, I bet I could read your personality based on your shoes. Now, I don't know if it was the shoes or it was their energy or whatever. I got everyone's permission. Everyone was like, yeah, sure. But I read everyone based on their shoes. And for me, it kind of took it was just fun. But people were like some people were like, holy crap, how'd you know that? But I took it into more of a fun place instead of going, oh my God, this is my job and I need to do about it. And I have a Virgo rising, so I'm pretty much a perfectionist at heart too. So I hope I have given you some things to take away. I know I've probably given you a lot of information. I hope that you found it helpful. And if you have any other methods that I forgot to talk about, please let me know in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for spending your time with me on my website or on YouTube.